Hello friends, I am Bogdan. Today I will tell you what is the right rollbacks. This will be the first video in my new playlist of the Beginner's Base for beginners who study my Nightstar trading strategy. And today I will tell you how to correctly find, let's say, the true corrections on the schedule. Because this is very important, this is a very important aspect. Because if you know how to determine the correct corrections, you will understand where you can put the inducement and where you can't put it. Let's start with the first example. Here we have a view of the wrong rollback. That is, this is immediately a wrong correction, I will say so. Why? Because, pay attention to the correction, you will say more. Here it seems there is a rollback, because we have an impulse. There is a correction, there is a new impulse. But this is wrong, because this is a correction. These two correction candles are within this candle. Therefore, this rollback will be wrong and will be considered invalid. And here we will not be able to mark the inducement. If it were so that the price will update the minimum of this candle, then it will update its maximum. In this case, there would be a correct rollback, and this would be the correct configuration, the design that we could use. Or if the price would update the high of this candle, that is, now the main candle would be this one. And updating it would be considered the main inducement of a new correct rollback. After that, the price updates its high, and we get the correct adjustment. But here it turns out that this candle is the main one, and within its price, it forms an adjustment. Here, there will be no adjustment movement, just a clean, let's say, impulse in one direction. Here we see, in the second example, an option for the correct rollback, healthy correct adjustment. Because here we update the minimum of the candle and update its maximum. We have an adjustment, but note that these candles have equal maximums. That is, they are absolutely equal. And in this case, for the main candle, we can choose either this one or this one, absolutely no difference. And we will wait for the update of either this minimum or this minimum. If it were so, we would wait for the update of this candle. If it were so, we would wait for the update of this candle, and then the update of its high. Here, the maximums are equal. The extremes of the shadows of these candles are equal. Therefore, in this way, we can choose any of these candles. And there is the correct adjustment. Well, the third and last type of, let's say, the correct rollback, it looks like this. In fact, it is the most unpleasant in terms of movement for me. I rarely trade it. I try not to determine the inducement and the trading range when we have something like this on the chart. Such a correct rollback. But still, it has a place here, because the price updates the minimum of the candle, then updates its maximum. Here is a very important caveat. In fact, the main candle is this candle. But we see that here, first, the price does not update its minimum, but, in fact, updates its maximum. Or we may not know it at all, because here it happens literally with one candle, and the minimum is removed by a shadow. Therefore, after the price updates the minimum of the main candle, we must wait for the update of this candle, which removes liquidity from the previous main candle with another candle. Ideally, this should happen to the body. That is, the price must beat the extreme of this candle further to the body. After that, the correction can already begin, and this rollback will be correct. And we will consider this as a correction. And here there will be an inducement or some liquidity. Otherwise, it will be just a one-way movement without any adjustments. It looks the most homogeneous without adjustments. Unlike, for example, this or this. This is the healthiest, most beautiful, and best option for a correct rollback. This is an option for an incorrect rollback. This is also an option for a correct rollback, but not the most pleasant. So, friends, be careful and look for the right rollbacks on the market. because this will lead to all your further actions on the chart. In general, the understanding of this chart, the understanding of the elements of my trading strategy Nightstar, because based on the correct rollbacks, we determine the inducement, we determine the order blocks, flows, orders, and in general, the confirmation of the range. Also, the removal of incomplete rollbacks, imbalances, and so on. Thank you all very much for watching. Share this video with your friends. Write comments to promote this video in the recommendations. Good luck to everyone and bye.